Hi, this is Valerie Guillaume, and I just had an encounter with the 11th Division Police, which I would like to expose to the public tonight. Around 9 p.m., two officers from 11th Division Police came to my home and threatened me with arrest, saying that if I expose this information to the public. What's on this here is a flyer of two accused. If you remember that, I have an article on my blog in which I identify two persons who are landlords, Abul Bashar and Shamshun Bashar, who have an illegal rooming house, which is an established fact. And I also decided to educate the people in that area, which I have a right to do, in regards to this. Now, this is the second time the 11th Division Police has come to my home to advise me not to do this. You have to understand that the 11th Division Police has these people working for them. Not only that, they're also involved in a conspiracy with the other city official that I've also exposed on my blog. What concerned me is that I called back the police tonight, trying to get the names and badge numbers of the officers who showed up at my door, banging my door down, and for some reason it was not in their system. So this should be a concern to not only me, but also to other members of the public, because first of all, you have two police officers coming to somebody's home, threatening them, and then you cannot identify those police officers as a member of the public. I even called the police headquarters at 40 College Street because they should have a copy or information about that. I was told by the female at the duty desk that I need to contact 11th Division Police, which I already did, to get information about the two officers. Now, it should be a concern to the public because A, you cannot have two police officers showing up at people's door who could have come there, armed them, maimed them, or killed them, especially if it's a black person, and then you have to wait weeks to get that information under the Freedom of Information Act. They should have available the occurrence number, the names and badge numbers of the police officer. So you can see that there's a conspiracy involved in this. And I am extremely concerned for my safety. What I'm planning to do in the next 24 hours and for the rest of the week is to have a demonstration in front of 11th Division, because I am sick and tired of them harassing me, sick and tired of them abusing me. First of all, I am somebody who is known not to report things that are not true. Okay, first of all, I'm a trained journalist, not just a blogger. Second of all, every single thing on this information is true. First of all, if you have two people, like these two individuals here on this document, Abul Bashar, they are currently facing criminal charges before the court. How is it that the police want to protect these two criminals who are currently before the court? They should know that when somebody is charged with a crime, even before it goes to trial, they have some of their rights suspended until that matter is completed in the court, meaning they can have their faces on the 6 o'clock news, which is what the police likes to do when it comes to black people. They go and charge them and give it to their contact in the media and say, put their faces on the 6 o'clock news. So you can't even report the names of these accused persons, which is an established fact that they are charged and facing criminal charges before the court. I, as a writer, journalist, blogger, cannot expose these persons to the public. So when the police showed up at my door, I told them that, listen, first of all, my article is to educate the public. Their motive is to protect the criminals. The police themselves, if somebody is a criminal or committed a crime, sometimes they're staying in halfway houses and they left the halfway houses. The police will go then and contact the media. What I'm trying to say is that the police themselves report people who are facing charges before the court, like these two persons, but have the nerve to come to my door, have the audacity to come to my door, pounding on my door, telling me, we've been here twice warning you. I said, first of all, why don't you just arrest me? If I've done something, go to the Justice of the Peace, tell them that I've broken the law, and then get a warrant. The female officer is telling me, we don't need a warrant to come into your home and arrest you. End of quote. So the police has a whole set of rules that they seem to apply to people who are their target, who they're being racist towards. And I'm making this video viral tonight because God knows who knows what they're planning, what else they're planning. And I'm actually concerned for my safety, not just my life, but also my freedom. That's one thing, but also my life. Who knows the next step that the police will take? There are so many black people who have been murdered in the city of Toronto by the corrupt police. And where did it go? It didn't go anywhere. What they're trying to do is to protect these persons. They want it to be covered up so that no one knows what they've done. No one knows that they're facing criminal charges in regards to the actions that I reported on my blog. Their names are Samson Bashar and Abu Bashar. Now, I will be doing a demonstration in front of the police. I will try to get as much support as I can. And I will also be videotaping for the purpose of educating the public in regards to this alleged, because it hasn't been completed in the court, so I have to be professional and say alleged. These are allegations, but just because they're allegations and are currently before the court, that does not mean that it cannot be publicized. Okay? Anyone who's facing charges before the court can have their pictures, can have their situation publicized, and it's a way of educating the public, but it's also a way of assisting the court in identifying those criminals later on. Because if it was up to the police, and I've known them to change criminals' name in the past to protect them once they're going through the court process. I have been through that with them, where they've changed the accused name to protect them. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they tried to do this, but I don't really think they would succeed in this because it's already been established that this is the name that they go by. But the police has been known to change personal information about accused to protect them in the court. So if somebody who is aware of what the police does and want to take it upon themselves to educate the public and say, I want to identify these accused to the public because of their criminal charges that they're currently facing, shouldn't have the police come pounding on their door telling them, we are warning you, we're told you not to put up. I put the sign up in a public place, and they told me that I cannot put this sign up in a public place. I am defacing, quote, I am defacing public property by putting this sign up in a public place. Not in a private place, not in anyone's private home or private space or anything. Just a poster in a public place where there are other posters from other members of the public. That's all I did. And I want to know why it is that the police from 11th Division, first of all, is hiding the information about the two officers who came to my home. Second of all, is protecting these two criminals. I would like to know why this is happening. And on top of that, intimidating me, trying to set me up, and trying to shut me up from exposing the corruption that they're currently involved in. This is not something that the public should put up with. This is something that goes against not only the law, but also morally, legally, and in so many other ways. And this is violating my rights. And it's about time that the police face not only prosecution, but also legal consequences. I'm talking about suing the police for violating my civil rights, because they're trying to tell me I do not have a right to freedom of speech. I do not have a right as a member of the public to educate my fellow human beings about criminals living in their neighborhood who has broken the law. I'm not saying something that's not on public record. Everything is on public record. And the police should have done that before they come and banging down my door. Because I'm sure, and I've written this, that if they had investigated, they would find out that everything about this person is correct, but they didn't even bother to do that. Okay? They don't want to do that. They want to come and intimidate and threaten, and who knows what the next level is that they will take it to. Harm me physically? Arrest me? Well, that's what they're threatening me with. Arrested me for basically posting something that I'm not supposed to post. Really, that's one of the threats. And I'm like, okay, well then maybe you should do that. And so, you know, this is something that has to stop. I am somebody who has been known to expose corruption for a very long time, for at least 8 years. And I don't see why I should be stopped by some corrupt Toronto police from 11th Division from doing my job to educate the public. This is not a personal vendetta, unless you want to say, well, what is it that you have against these people? What I have against them is that I am aware that they've broken the law, and I'm aware of the criminal charges they're facing. A year ago, I did the same thing. I exposed another landlord in another municipality, and I didn't have those police come to my door and telling me, you cannot do that. Because it's an established fact that if somebody's facing criminal charges before the court, some of their rights under the Freedom of Rights Charter, under the Constitution, they're not eliminated, but they're suspended, at least until their matters is completed in the court. So they can get all of those rights back once they finish with the proceeding in the court. Right now, they're facing criminal charges. There's nothing to stop me from writing about it if I want to put it online via a poster or in whatever form, because I can tell you, if it was a black person, their faces would have been on the 6 o'clock news. And the police do not care about protecting their rights in that case. So why is it that they're so concerned about protecting these people? Do they have something to hide? I can tell you right now that the 11th Division Police has a lot to hide in regards to these persons. It's part of a bigger conspiracy. And I'm at the center of it because I've reported it. And they wanted to keep it quiet. They want these people to be keep their status in the neighborhood while they're facing criminal charges in regards to their property, in regards to their actions around that. And I'm saying this is wrong. This is legally and morally wrong. And if they want to hide, they can finish with their matters in the courts, and they can stay there or they can move. But if this information is available, then I'm going to share it with the public. And that's what I've done. And I've had 11th Division Police now come into my home more than once, threatening me. The female, I mentioned that, the female officer telling me, we don't need a warrant to come into your home and arrest you. I said, well, you know what? You do that. But I'm not going to be intimidated by the police. I'm not going to take their threats, and I'm not going to take them violating my rights under the charter, under the supposed guaranteed freedoms, rights and freedoms that's supposed to exist, which apparently as a black person does not exist for somebody like me. I recently met someone this past week who won $100,000 claim against the Toronto police. There are at least 3 claims per week against the Toronto police for these type of things, for violating people's civil rights. And apparently they zoom in on people that they think are vulnerable, like myself, and then try to just abuse their rights and may even take it further. I personally do not want the police coming to my house because I'm concerned for my physical safety from them. Because once they see that they cannot intimidate me, and I'm not going to stop exposing corruption that I'm aware of, then they may take it to the next level. And that's probably why I cannot get the names of the officers who attended tonight. It's nowhere in their system, according to what I've been told tonight, even from police headquarters. So they're trying to tell me I have to wait to go through the Freedom of Information, which takes weeks. They have, I think, about 30 days to provide that information. I do not want to wait 30 days to get the name of the 2 officers who showed up at my door tonight. That should have been on their system, and that should have been made available to me. So you can see that they're covering up something. You can see that they are planning something, okay? And it's absolutely important to expose them to the public like what I am doing. And if anyone wants to contact me about the demonstration which I'm planning in front of 11th Division to curb this type of corruption, please contact me at 416-604-6924. and I will give you more details about it. This is Valerie Guillaume reporting in regards to the 11th Division Police and their corruption and what that stands against as a society. We cannot stand for that at this time.